Hello YouTube, how is everybody? I hope you're all having a great start to the new year. It is currently Thursday evening. It has been disgustingly miserable outside all day, so I have been indoors drawing. And then I finally got my passport back in the post, which means that I can start to book some overseas journeys. And the big one that I've been talking about is Iceland, and I thought it would be fun to show you guys my process, show you how I plan and book a trip, and maybe it's helpful to some people, or at least it's somewhat entertaining and will fill a YouTube video for the week. This is the new one. I'm kind of sad that it's not red anymore, but it's cute though. It's got like some flowers printed on the back. You can't see it, but anyway. I sent that off last week, so if your passport is due for renewal, now is a good time to do it because they are going through them so quickly. Anyway, on to planning. So here we have obviously the map. I am down here somewhere at the moment, and we want to go here. Obviously I've worked most of this out already, but I will show you guys how I figured it out. It's not difficult. Basically you just Google it. There is one boat, there is one commercial kind of vehicle ferry that goes from here in Denmark, stops off here, and then goes here. No easy way of getting up here, you have to ride. So similar to when I went to Norway, got to go up through this lot and then across, or in my case, that way. Right now I'm just going to book the main boat across, which I talked about in my last video. This is the 3-day boat from the top of Denmark to Iceland. It's a little town in Iceland that I'm not even going to try and pronounce. It's on like the east kind of area of Iceland. So it's nice and early in the year and I don't really have a whole lot planned yet. I know that I can't go at the beginning of June because I do have something else planned at the beginning of June. And after that you've got July and August, which are prime holiday season. So it's very expensive to travel in those months. So we are going to go in May because it's really cheap. It's also going to be cold, but that's fine because of how much money I'm going to be saving by going in May anyway. I could spend the money I save by traveling in May on warm accommodation or just more warm things. So in a way it should work out. I'm not too worried about going in May. I did a lot of research, and then someone in my YouTube comments said that they once went to Iceland in May and there was some freak weather front and it was minus 20 degrees for like a week that they were over there, which is terrifying, and I don't know what I would do if I get caught out in that situation, so please just pray for me. Let's go. So we're not going to win a trip. We are going to go to Iceland with a motorcycle. Find prices and book now. My internet's a little bit slow. So you can do like a proper stop on the Faroe Islands. I've seen people do it. It looks like a beautiful place. I'm just going to go straight to Iceland. So that one is on the Faroe Islands, and that is the one that I can't pronounce. Tell me how you say that in Iceland. So we are going to go to that one, and we're going to return to the same place that we started. We are going on a motorcycle. It is probably 2 meters in length. I don't think it matters what you put in this. A motorcycle is a motorcycle. If you put in 5, they'll probably get a little bit suspicious. We are 1 adult, and we are going to go in May. So now you can see that they have kind of times in the year where they don't sail, and then they start up in March, April, and you just kind of get once a week. I think it's just the one boat, so you're kind of forced into these little time slots. So we go on the 4th of May. The earliest we can come back is on the 8th, but this is a 3-day boat, so if you sail on the 4th, you're not going to arrive until the 7th. So if you go home on the 8th, you're going to have 1 day there. So you've got to be a little bit careful when you're booking and just take into account how long that is going to take. So we're going to come back on the 15th, which gives us about 8 days over on the island. It will show you all of this in a minute. Obviously, I've done this a few times. So, as you can see, the prices kind of jump as you go later in the season. Like this is still May and it's already gone up a load. If you go even later, if you go until June, you're paying 457 euros, and that is just one way. So we're going for the cheap ticket, 186 euros. And then on the way back, which we said the 15th, 150 euros. So at the moment we're at 336 euros. So as you can see, you sail out on the 4th and you arrive on the 7th. and then you leave on the 15th and you get back to European mainland on the 18th. Happy days, right? Next. So it's a 3-day boat. You've got a few different options for where you can stay on the boat. They have many nice cabins, and I guess if you're traveling with a few different people, you can save a fair bit of money here because you just book one cabin with 4 beds and split the costs. Or if you are like me and you are very budget conscious, you could get that. That's a cheap option. Or even better, you can stay in one of these for 22 euros. So that is what we are doing. We are going to save a bunch of money. Also, when I say we, it's me and my motorcycle. This is going to be a solo trip. The motorcycle is a living, breathing entity. It's me and the bike. And we will not be staying in a coachet. I will be staying in a coachet, and Pinky will be with the lorries and the cars alone. You get like a whole suite. I mean, nice. Ugh. Anyway, return leg is a little bit cheaper. Return leg is 17 euros instead of 22. I don't really understand this. I guess you just pick one because I'm one person. I need one thing, and they don't come with bedding. You can pay for bedding, or I guess I can just carry my sleeping bag around. I hope they're warm and I hope the Wi-Fi reaches. Wi-Fi is not free. You have to pay for Wi-Fi. I think I'm going to end up spending about £50 on Wi-Fi, which is fine. I'm fine to do that. Anyway, right, so we are now at 403 euros. Let's go. Food. I don't really know why the meal package is not available. I'm not going to go for any of this. It's like $20 a meal. Yeah, 20 euros for a meal. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get on the boat and see what happens. I reckon if I can stock up on some service station baguettes before I go, then I can eat those, and that will be nice and cheap. And then if I'm hungry in the evening, I will buy dinner. Like, what? Everything's so expensive. It's fine. Next. Hotels. No. Show me some campsites. Give me a nice field. Anyway. So I've got to put all of this in. Obviously they want your passport number, hence I've had to wait until now. And I should probably read that as well. It has just started raining. I can barely hear myself think, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear me. Okay, that's booked. I get to be excited now and terrified. This is where things start to get a little bit confusing because obviously I need to get to Denmark first. So our boat is on the 4th. So boat to Iceland. And then our boat out of Iceland is on 15th. So boat to Denmark. So I need to work out how I can get to be in Denmark. Sorry, it's really difficult to film and point on the 4th. And obviously I'm in England, so from experience it is 2 days of riding to get there. So I want to spend the night here in Denmark, somewhere in the north of Denmark, and I want to spend the night here in Germany, which means I need to take the overnight boat here to get to France, which means I need to book, words are difficult. I need to book a boat for the evening of Wednesday the 1st. So there are many ways to get to France from England. I am starting here. So my favourite boat to take is the New Haven Dieppe, which is about this bit here, and it's quite cheap to take. It's about £80 for a return with a motorcycle. But I think there's a boat, oh no, I think that goes to Spain actually from over there. There's definitely like several different crossings, and if you're coming from the north, there's a boat from around about here which takes you to the Fingers of Holland or something, which actually saves you quite a few miles if you're coming from the north. If you're going to the south, it's not worth it because that's quite an expensive boat. This one is a good boat. It is 6 hours long, and they schedule one that kind of goes overnight as well. You can't really sleep on it, it's not very comfortable, but it will do. So my chosen boat is the DFDS Seaways boat from, where are you? New Haven to Dieppe. We are a motorcycle. We are one way. I'm gonna book one way, and that means that I don't have the pressure to get home on a certain date. I can get back from Iceland, arrive in Denmark, and then just see how I feel. Obviously I've got to be back in time for the thing that I'm doing in June, but maybe I want to go do something else, so we're just gonna book one way. It's cheap enough anyway, that doesn't really matter if you have to buy 2 separate tickets, and to be fair, you can change the dates if you need to, but I just don't want that hassle. So it's 33 quid. Huh, that's not very much money at all. Easy. I forgot to put the right date in. Boom. Oh, it's £3 more. That's fine. Oh, what have we got here? Yeah, that's fine. What time does that one get in? Show me the schedule. Okay, I know this already, but it's fun to check. So it is a 4-hour boat. So we are gonna get the 11 p.m. one. That's much better. So then it would put you in France at probably like 4 o'clock in the morning. Gross. Okay, that's that booked. That was super easy. So there's my email confirmation, lovely. So the next thing I've got to do is have a little look at accommodation. So I've got the first 2 nights to kind of worry about now. And then I'll worry about how to live in Iceland a bit later. Stress for another time. Here we go. Love this website. I actually prefer using the app because it has everything kind of ready to go on it, but whatever. So I'm going to kind of copy what I did when I went to Norway. And I am going to stay in kind of Bremen for the first part. So that's 500 miles to get to Bremen. So that is going to be the night of the 2nd. And then we are going to check out on Friday. Let's go. That was super easy, and I really like that location. So when I'm traveling and I'm staying in Airbnbs, I try to find places that are kind of close to the route that I'm taking, away from the city so they're at least pleasant, but close enough to somewhere that there's going to be phone signal. So that little house there, it's £28 for the night, and it's absolutely perfect. I'm really happy that I've been able to find that one. And then the second night, I'm going to find the other one that I stayed in when I went to Norway, because that was the one with the kittens. You can tell I'm getting excited. What really helps me when I'm planning things is to write down the days that I'm doing stuff, but also the nights as well. So you make sure that when you're booking the night, you're booking the actual correct date. All right, please tell me that the lady with the kittens has availability for the following night. Come on, internet, now is not the time. I need you to work. I need you to be good. Give me the house with the kittens. Oh my God, I think that's it. Everything's really cheap in May. This is probably not good. This probably is a bad thing. Is that it? I think that's it. But I don't remember there being parrots. I found it. So there you have it. That was expensive. I have booked my crossing to France. I have booked the night in Germany, the night in Denmark, and the crossing to Iceland. And that took an hour. And that's kind of the urgent bit out of the way, so I can start bragging about it now, and getting the bike ready and making sure I've got everything that I need and panicking about the potential for bad weather. I hope that was kind of helpful. I guess the other kind of things that you need to take into consideration when you're booking a trip, obviously I've kind of got all of this done already, but I will tell you because I've written it on a note in front of me so I don't forget to tell you. Check your bike insurance. You need to tell your motorcycle insurance company if you're going abroad. You need to let them know what dates you're going and when you're probably going to be coming back and which countries you're going to. They probably won't charge you for this because normally you get EU cover included, but they do need to know. With Bikeshore, who I am insured with, I get 90 days of free European cover included, which is amazing. So that's easy. You've got to do that. And then travel insurance. You probably want travel insurance if you're going particularly to cold places where you're likely to fall off in ice. Most travel insurance companies that you find on the internet do not include cover for if you're riding a motorcycle that's bigger than like 50 cc's or something, which obviously you're going to do. So be careful that you don't fall for one of these. The best thing you can do is ring up a motorcycle insurance provider and ask them if they do travel insurance. Some of them do, and some of them can point you in the direction of someone that will do proper travel insurance for motorcycles. And it's not very expensive. It's not a whole lot more expensive than just a normal travel insurance policy, so don't be scared of it. Just get it bought. You can get annual policies and you can get cheaper policies for the duration of your trip, but an annual policy is better value. With regards to your phone will work abroad. I am with O2, so O2 have this EU zone where you get 25 gigs at no extra cost, which is enough, and that renews at the end of the month anyway, and you get another 25 gigs. And you just check that the thing works where you're going, and it does. It works in Europe, it works in Iceland, it works in a lot of places, so that saves you trying to buy another SIM for travel. As far as money goes, I just use my credit card or my debit card, whichever one comes out my wallet first, and it works abroad. You don't really need to get cash out for places. It's nice to have cash. You don't need it most of the time in Europe. So that's another thing you don't have to worry about. You don't need to tell your bank, you can just go. Make sure you carry your travel documents, so obviously your passport. In Europe, when you're driving around, you need to carry the actual V5 for your vehicle and a printed copy of your insurance and the letter that they give you that tells you that it's covered, I think. Best to just print everything out and carry it around in like a little wallet. I have a little plastic wallet to keep everything dry. And for now, that is everything. I probably got so excited that I made a really bad mistake, but I will check through everything that I've got and make sure. But for now, that is done. That is great. I get to be excited, I get to panic, and I will update you if there is anything new to talk about before I go. Obviously, this isn't until May, so I've got a little while, but yeah. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions or recommendations or anything, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye.